Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, grab that cup of coffee and give me 10 minutes or even less than this. I'm going to show you a few things I've been doing. I work around here all the time, and I work on all kinds of projects. And I don't show you them all because they're not that long or whatever interesting. But I want to show you a few what I've been up to, because we're going to leave for Sturgis in just a couple days or so. This here was made out of those. I went to a yard sale, and they had a box of metal, and they were in the bottom of it. Didn't know what I'd ever use them for, but this is what I ended up using them for right here. This, I just took them, bent them, heated them up, bent them. Now I can take my heavy, there it is, gas tank, set that right in there. It ain't going nowhere. It keeps the weight out of the back of the RV, and just puts it on the trailer because it's gonna be light enough. Then I put a chain on it so I can lock it, because you know not everybody's as honest as you and me. So we'll be able to lock that up just like that when we're going down the road. Taking this, I also fixed this so I can hook this up to the RV. If I run out of gas inside it, I can just hook this on and still have refrigeration or whatever. But anyway, it's ready for a spare. I like spares. So and then here's what I made it out of. Just took them, heated them up, bent them in a circle. Another little thing I've built lately is these ramps. You guys have probably, lots of you, built ramps before. This is for the RV, because when we get out there to Sturgis, I'm sure the ground is not going to be level. And this is an 8-foot board right here, 2x6, 8 foot long. And I was able to cut it out, and I think it's about 11 inches from here to here, from there to there, so on, 11 inches up here, which is the footprint of the RV over there. So the tire will fit there. Then I had this much left over, so I can put it on whatever side. You know, if you have an RV, you know how you got to level them. This will work. That's an 8-foot piece of wood, and I used every piece of it. I had a little piece here, so I slid that down, give me a little room. It's all nailed and screwed together. Now then, I want to show you what we've been doing, what we did in the old RV here real quickly. Okay, you remember one of my videos, we went camping and we left this pump on for 48 hours, water pump with no water in it. Well, it still works. Hopefully. There's a little light that comes on when the pump is on now. It should work. There it goes. Had to work on some of the valves down here. I had them shut up because I've been working on it. But we got it working now. There's the pump. She's still pumping. Got a little air in the line. Okay, that's going to work for us. Let's make sure we turn the pump off. I don't want to leave that on again, but we put a green light on there. See it popping on? We won't leave it on again. We'll know. So, the water pump is working, but do I trust it? No, not a lot. And I already had this one, and this is a much bigger and more expensive pump. I used it to pump antifreeze and anything through the system for the winter, or if we're getting water, like we run out of water in the woods and we have to bring a bucket of water or a container of water, and we want to pump it into the system in there. That's what we use that pump for. So I thought, well, I'm going to bring it in here and put it in line, which I did. So it's in line, and if that one fails, we just turn this one on with this button right here. Green light on it. And that turns that pump on. So we will have a water pump no matter what. Plus, I can still use that one with these hoses. You can see they're running everywhere. I can take one of them hoses, drop it into a bucket of antifreeze, the pink stuff. I can do that and flush the system out in the winter. So The only difference is it's handy for everything now. It's installed in there. And it's a big pump. So that's how we solve that. Let me show you this underneath. Okay, you can see that valve right there. Now that's how I'm getting water. That comes out of the drain tank for your fresh water. Now that's how I get water into the auxiliary pump. Then I can also turn that spigot right wherever it is, right there, and let the water drain out. And that was the easiest way for me to hook everything up, and that's how we got that thing fixed. Now, let's go into the garage. I want to show you something on the bike. Just little bits and pieces. To charge up my cameras, which you know I got lots of them. I mean, I can charge my phone up here. I got a cord that also now runs up to where the GoPro is. But to charge up most of my cameras, I throw them in this bag. This is a GoPro battery charger right there. I throw them in the bag, and then I have this plug-in right here, which I plug in one of these in it, and then I can plug your USB port into it, and that's how I've been doing it for years. But you know, Harley-Davidsons, sometimes they vibrate, and this apparently something ain't right. It comes off, it goes on. So I'm thinking the contact's worn or whatever. It did me a good job. And how I hook that up is right here. These wires run right through here and right up, and it's dirty under there. And then it plugs into here. Most of your bikes will have one of these on it. So if it does, you can plug this thing right into it. You can buy these already made up and plug it right into that. Usually that hangs down here, and I have this thing hanging, it used to. And this goes up under my tank and then feeds right into there. But I don't have that. I don't use that no more because I got a different kind of... Well, it went off on me. Hey, I don't use that one up in there no more because I don't have that kind of connections. Most of mine now are C connections, you know, USB to C. So that's what we're using here. Well, this gave up the ghost, and that's okay. It did it a long time. So I went down to the old Walmart and I picked this up for $10. Now I'm just going to wire that in right into where it goes, right there. I think I already got a fuse on it. If not, I'll put a fuse in line, but I think that's fused, pretty sure. So anyway, I'm going to put that on. Then I'll have a cigarette lighter if I wanted to, and then I have 2 extra ports here for charging up more cameras. So, all right, I thought I'd show you what this looks like. A lot of you guys will have that, like I said. If you don't, you can buy that little kit. Just hooks to your positive battery post and your negative, and it does come with a fuse. You can buy them on Amazon, I'm sure. I can put some links down there below to show you where all this stuff is. Now then, I just take this. I already got this soldered on, took the other one off, soldered this one on. So now we're going to run this cable up through here and plug it in here. I made a little groove right there so the line can lay there and not get smashed. So I'm going to go ahead and thread that through, then I'll show you what she looks like right now. Okay, we got it hooked up. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure you got your polarity right. So get out your old multimeter. Now then, that side's grounded. You can see it's clipped onto the side. That's supposed to be your ground side. Now we're going to go right down straight through the middle and look over here. We got 12. Now if that 12 had a minus in front of it, you got it backwards. So you don't want to do that. You will burn stuff up. Make sure your polarity is right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. This little deal, like I said, will go down in that. I may put a piece of tape on there to hold it. But yeah, I'll probably do that. And it'll be done. And then we can plug in this thing right here. Let's see if we can plug it in now with one hand. Let's see if I got it upside down. No, I got it right. It's hard to do, but there we go. And see that little blue light come on. That means this thing is charging my batteries, which it looks like they're all dead. So now I ain't gonna leave that all the time on because it will be drawing the battery. But this little light here ain't gonna draw enough juice to do anything to this battery, and I hope. And this won't be plugged in all the time. When I go down the road, I'm getting ready to film, I'll plug all my cameras in while I'm going down the road, and that will keep them charged up. Hey, hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope to see you all out there at Sturgis. I did take my sticker off. I don't know if you'll be able to figure out who I am now. Hey, thanks for watching, guy. Hey, what this guy's saying at the end of this clip, yes, do what he says. He's a pretty smart feller. If you'd like to help out this channel by supporting it, joining Patreon, it's only $3 a month. There's a tab at the top in the right-hand corner. Just click that link. You will get bonus videos plus all of these videos earlier. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now's the time to do it because it is absolutely free and you will get notified of any upcoming videos. Thank you.